How to express a given quantity as a percentage of another quantity. Example, express 25 as a percentage of 80. So, if the question is express 25 as a percentage of 80, the steps to solve this are: number one, divide the given quantity by the other quantity. So what is the given quantity? 25 is your given quantity. Another quantity is 80. So we'll divide 25 by 80. Step number two, multiply the result by 100. So we need to multiply this by 100. Now we will follow method 1. In method 1, what we can do is we can strike 80 with 100. So 10 times 8 gives us 80 and 10 times 10 gives us 100. Again, we can strike 8. 2 times 4 gives us 8. 2 times 5 gives us 10. Now, there is nothing more that we can strike with each other. So the numerators can be multiplied. 25 multiplied by 5 we have to do. And the denominators can be also multiplied. We have 4 in the first denominator. In the second place, we do not have a denominator. So that must be 1. 4 multiplied by 1. If we multiply 25 into 25 in the numerator, we get 125 and 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. So our intermediate answer is 125 by 4. But this is a fraction. Let's convert this fraction into decimal. That's the most convenient way of expressing a percentage. So how will you convert this? Let's just simply divide. Let us do the rough work. 125 by 4, our dividend is 125. 4 is our divisor. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. 5 comes down. 4 times 1 is 4. Our remainder is 1. It hasn't ended here. So now we can take a decimal point and we can put a 0 after 1. It becomes 10. 4 times 2 is 8. Remainder is 2. Again, we can take a 0 for the decimal point. 4 times 5 is 20 and the division terminates here. So our answer is 31.25%. Now, let us do it by another method. The steps are: divide the given quantity by the other quantity. As we know, the given quantity is 25 and the other quantity is 80. So first we will do the same thing, 25 by 80. So this is our method 2. In this method, we will divide 25 by 20 first. So we can strike 80 and 25. 5 times 16 is 80. 5 times 5 is 25. Now, let us do the division first. Here, 5 is our dividend. The greater number is the divisor. 16 is the divisor. The lesser number is 5. So, we know 16 multiplied by 1 is 16. That will be greater than 5. So, we have to go for 16 multiplied by 0. 16 times 0 is 0. The remainder is 5. Now, there's nothing to do more. So, we have to take a decimal point. And for that, we can add a 0 after 5 and make 5 as 50. So 16 times 3 is closest to 50, that is 48. The remainder is 2. Again, for the decimal point, we can put a 0 after 2. It becomes 20. 16 times 1 is 16, which is nearest to 20. 20 minus 16, we get 4. Again, we can put a 0 for the decimal. And 16 times 2 is 32. That is the nearest number to 40. 40 minus 32, we get 8. Again, 1 0. And 16 times 5 is 80. The division terminates here. So our answer for 5 by 16 will be 0.3125. Now what was the next step? Multiply the result by 100. So this is our result. We have to multiply this by 100. Since this is a decimal number, we have the point after 0 and we are multiplying this by 100. Now 100 has 2 zeros. For multiplication, we can do a right shift of the decimal point to 2 places for 2 zeros. So right shift by 1, right shift by 2. Our decimal point comes here. So 031.25. Now since 0 is on the left side, we can strike the 0 and our answer becomes 31.25. So we can say again 31.25% is our answer for this question. Now, can you express 20 as a percentage of 100? I would prefer to do by method 1. So 20 is our given number, another quantity is 100 and we will multiply this by 100. It's very easy, we'll just strike 100 with 100 and 20 remains, so 20 is the percentage. Now express 30 as a percentage of 100. So we will write 30 by 100 multiplied by 100 and we'll strike 100 with 100, the answer will be 30%. Do I need to tell you express 40 as a percentage of 100? We do not even need to do anything. We can just write simply 40%, express 80 as a percent of 100. We can simply write 80%. But what if I tell you express 20 as a percentage of 200? So then we have to use the method we have learned. 20 is our given quantity divided by 200 is our another quantity. Step 2, multiply this by 100. How to multiply? You can strike the two zeros of 200 with the two zeros of 100, and then we are left with 20 divided by 2. So 2 times 10 is 20. Our answer will be 10%. Now, what if I tell you I want to express 10 as a percentage of 80 and I want to use method 2? So what was the first step? You take the given quantity, you divide it by the other quantity, that is 80. Now, before multiplying, in the method 2, we used to divide it first. So 10 over 80, we can just strike the zeros of the numerators and denominators and we get 1 by 8. Now, we have to divide 1 by 8 in our mind. Can you do that? So if this is your mind space, let's try. Here is 1 by 8. 1 is the numerator. That's a lesser number. 8 is the denominator. The divisor is a greater number. So it's very obvious that 8 times 1 is 8, which is greater than the numerator, greater than the dividend. So we must go with 0. So if we cancel, 8 times 0 is 0. And after that, we have to take a decimal point. If we take a decimal point, we can just put a 0 beside 1. We can make it 10. Now, what is the number in 8's table that is closest to 10? We can take 1 as our quotient. So, 8 times 1 is 8. So, 10 minus 8, we can get 2. So, now we will forget 1 by 8. Instead of that, let us think it as 2 by 8. Again, for the decimal point, we have to take a 0 over here. Otherwise, we cannot divide 2 by 8. So, 8 times 2 is 16. That is closer to 20. So, we can just subtract it in our mind. It is 4. Now, instead of 2 by 8, we will think it as 4 by 8. Again, 4 is the numerator, which is lesser number. So, we have to add a 0 for the decimal. 8 times 5 is 40. So, this is our final answer if we divide 1 by 8, 0.125. So, instead of 1 by 8 here, we can just write 0.125. Now, our next step is multiply it by 100. Multiplication is very easy since it is 100, a multiple of 10. So, we can just right shift our decimal point. 100 has 2 zeros, so we will right shift 2 places. 1, 2. So, our answer is 012.5, that is 12.5%. Now, can you express 350 as a percentage of 700? Which method would you like to do? Would you like to do method 1, method 2, or your own easy method? Do tell me in the comment section.